next installment in my video lecture series in economics. And in this particular video lecture, I'm going to be taking a look at excessive production of goods when those goods have negative externalities. So again, this is from my public finance course, and it relates to this section on the problem of externalities. So here we are going to be taking a look at the supply and demand of a particular product. And the thing I want to point out to you is, again, we have our demand curve, which represents the marginal benefit. We have the supply curve, but here we're only talking about the marginal private cost. That is the cost that the firm actually realizes in the production of a particular product. So this is not including, for example, any of the costs associated with pollution, whether it's air pollution, noise pollution, any other types of things, the imposed cost on other individuals who are not involved in this particular transaction. So this supply curve is just from the perspective of the firm. It's just the cost that they are actually realizing. And where they intersect one another is where we have our market quantity. Now, if the firms were to actually realize those external costs, we would have a different supply curve. So it would shift to the left, and the new equilibrium would be QE, which is less than QM. And the vertical distance here is the cost per unit of those externalities. So realize that if you have production of something that has negative externalities associated with it, the market output is going to be greater than the efficient output, because the firms are not taking account all the costs, not just the direct costs of producing that particular item, but also the cost associated with pollution, noise pollution, environmental pollution, etc., which causes the marginal cost curve, or sometimes I refer to as the total marginal social cost. So we have the direct cost to the firm, which is this supply curve here, but the vertical distance here is those external costs that this firm is not recognizing. So realize that vertical distance is the cost that is not internalized. The cost of pollution, the cost of noise pollution, etc. That vertical distance is equivalent to that per unit cost, and the excessive production is equal to QM, which is what the market would produce, versus QE, which is the efficient amount, and that efficient amount relates to the fact that these firms now are not just including their private costs, but also the costs to society.